The Trump administration awards a chain of pro-life medical centers more than $5 million. The administration awarded the Obria Group a Title X grant for $5.1 million over 3 years to expand its services in California. Obria is a nonprofit affiliate network of medical clinics that provide comprehensive and life-affirming health care to low-income women and men. Services include pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, prenatal care, cancer screenings, and treatment for sexually transmitted diseases. This Title X grant might have otherwise gone to a Planned Parenthood affiliate, if not awarded to Obria. We recently spoke with the founder and CEO of the Obria Group to hear more about this major pro-life news. Here's our interview. Kathleen Eaton Bravo is founder and CEO of the Obria Group. She joins us now from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Kathleen, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Catherine. It's good to be back.
First off, tell us about your group, Obria Group, and Obria's mission.
Well, as you know, Catherine, I started clinics. They were pregnancy resource centers. I took them into medical clinics, and many people said, you know, it's that biblical teaching, you can't hide your good works under a bushel basket, you have to shine it from a hill. And after 3 years of strategizing and developing the model, we launched Obria Group as a national affiliation model of giving other clinics around the country, pro-life clinics, an opportunity to come under a national brand.
And the HHS department recently rewarded your group, the Obria Group, over $5 million over the course of 3 years. Tell us, how were you awarded these funds?
Yes. Well, actually, I have to back you up a little bit, because about 6 months before that, HHS, under Title V, abstinence education, for the first time ever in California, awarded us $900,000, $450,000 a year for 2 years, and to launch what is called sexual risk avoidance education. It's an abstinence-based education program in the schools. And so just prior to getting to Title X, so part of Title X, fast forward 6 months, we submitted that grant, and it actually partners with our sexual risk avoidance education grant under Title V. So Title V sort of gave us the seed money to take sexual risk avoidance education up and down the state of California. We actually teach it nationally now. But in California, we took that money and grew this program. Our executive director is a master trained educator in sexual risk avoidance education. And so it fit perfectly into the new Title X parameters that were created under the Trump administration to give funding to pro-life faith-based organizations like Obria. But you had to be comprehensive medical care, electronic health, I mean, totally in the medical field model. And we qualified, and we submitted the grant. And this grant actually supports the Title V grant. It's in a continuation of natural family planning, which I used all my life. I used the old Billings method, but natural family planning, fertility education, educating women about their fertility so that education, you know, is empowering, and they learn to protect their fertility so they can have children in the future. And of course, sexual risk avoidance education, and we use FEM, fertility education medical management, and train our staff. So this was a perfect fit for us, all holistic. Really in line with, I find it interesting, the teachings of the Catholic Church for years and years and years. And now you have the federal government understanding and realizing that holistic care and this type of care is what this generation of young women want and are looking for.
And over $5 million, I mean, Kathleen, can you just put that into perspective for us? What kind of impact that can have and how you will put this money to use?
Huge impact. And I think the thing that we all need to celebrate, though it's actually with the Title V, we're looking at $6,100,000 of our tax money not going to Planned Parenthood and abortion. This really opened up a new avenue, and HHS has said to us, you know, Kathleen, we chose you as a trailblazer to do this because we're trying to open up new avenues in Title X. In other words, for 45 years, it's gone to abortion providers, except for a short time under President Reagan, and went right back to the original of funding abortion and not funding holistic care, natural family planning, and that type. And today, thanks to this administration, He's moved it back, but what they're trying to do is just not have it during this administration, but build a new avenue to say this is working and open up those funds for continuing down the path for years to come. So we're going to use this money to continue to create a holistic, natural family planning model within our affiliates in California. And hopefully, with the next cycle, we can move it into the states where we have other Obrias or other pro-life groups have a medical model and they qualify. So I think this is much more even than us and the $5 million. I think this is a new day, a new path for our tax money to go in and to support pro-life. This is huge.
Can you clarify whether or not any of these Title X funds will go towards contraception?
Absolutely not. As I shared, this money funds holistic care, sexual risk avoidance, natural family planning, fertility education, abstinence education within the clinic model, and also teaching out into the school. So what I talked about, the Title V is actually taking these programs into the schools and teach it. The Title X is the medical services within the clinics, and it is holistic care. I would never have taken any money. I've never contracepted. I've been Catholic all my life, and I would never, no amount of money would ever buy, my heart, my faith, or the Obria ministry. We are a faith-based pro-life organization, and I am one of those hardcore believers that if you really study contraception, it is the floodgates to abortion. And we would never crack even a window to take any type of funding that was associated with having to dispense contraception. Never.
Kathleen, abortion advocates often paint pro-life clinics as fake clinics. And upon the news of your grant, Planned Parenthood tweeted out, "The Trump administration is stripping Title X funding from trusted health centers and instead providing funding to entities that do not provide evidence-based treatment." Kathleen, what is your reaction to that, the claim Obria does not provide evidence-based treatment?
Well, it's not true and it's not factual, and we are evidence-based. In fact, everything we do, and as we grow our medical process and services and care is evidence-based. And this is what I have to say. We do more services than Planned Parenthood. We do pregnancy test, ultrasound, STI testing and treatment. We do HIV/AIDS testing. We do well woman care, pap smears, cancer screening, and we do prenatal care in some of our clinics, which we're moving towards in all of our clinics in each area, to do full prenatal care up to delivery.
Kathleen Eaton Bravo, founder and CEO of the Obria Group, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Catherine.
And joining us now in studio for ProLife Analysis is Mallory Quigley, Vice President of Communications for the Susan B. Anthony List. Mallory, thanks for being here. Happy Easter.
Thank you, Catherine. Happy Easter to you.
Tell us more about this grant. How significant is this?
Well, it's very encouraging to see that an incredible entity like Obria, and the work that they're doing is wonderful, to see that they've qualified for these new grants. And certainly in the wake of organizations like Planned Parenthood saying that they are, that they're up in arms about these new Title X regulations, it's encouraging to see fresh organizations apply and to meet the criteria.
What does this grant signal about the administration's pro-life agenda?
Yeah, I think that it's one sign among many that we've seen. Certainly, we heard Mick Mulvaney at the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast this week talking about the president putting in even more pro-life lines to the State of the Union. And I think it's one of many indicators that the administration is continuing its drumbeat on strong pro-life action, and they're doing everything that they can. President Trump is doing everything that is in his power. Really picking up the baton where Congress has been sort of in this stalemate.
Mallory, abortion advocates often paint these pro-life pregnancy medical clinics as fake clinics. How do you respond to something like that?
Well, take a look at Planned Parenthood's own annual report. They say that they are a trusted healthcare provider for women and girls, but their own numbers show that this is just not the case. So they're the fake clinics.
Mallory, finally, as a pro-life leader yourself, can you speak to Obria and how really they are leading in the pro-life movement? They really are blazing a new trail.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that Kathleen Eaton Bravo and the Obria team are doing a great service to the pro-life movement by offering not just women, but their men in their lives and families these actual healthcare services that are medical services. You know, they really are expanding on what we traditionally understood to be the role of pregnancy resource centers, and this is really incredible because it's really allowing the pro-life movement to compete with entities like Planned Parenthood. It's the giant of the abortion industry, and they get women in the door by attempting to sell them you know, well woman services, which we know that they don't really do. So to have an entity like Obria, there's the consortium of pro-women healthcare centers that's growing and is identifying other facilities that are offering these services to women and families. It's really important.
Mallory Quigley, Vice President of Communications for the Susan B. Anthony List. Thank you, as always, for your pro-life analysis.
My pleasure.